Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to EduX Podcast. And today we are honored to host the distinguished leaders of the International Chemistry Olympiad. And today we have the joining John Leon Kiappes, the chairman of the steering committee of International Chemistry Olympiad, and the co-chairman of the International Chemistry Olympiad 2026, Alexander Gladilin Kirillovich. Welcome all.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. And today we are discuss about the vision of the International Chemistry Olympiad 2026 and the goals of winter camp and the preparations of the scientific part, organizational part, and overall the advices for participants and feedbacks. Are you ready?
We're looking forward to it.
Always.
Okay, then let's start, and we will start about you have recently come to Uzbekistan, and you see the Uzbekistan for first time, and how was it, Mr. GL?
Yeah, I feel really lucky to have the opportunity to visit for the first time. It really made a big impression. The warmth and the hospitality of all of the Uzbek people who've greeted us, who've also done a lot of work to make the preparations for the Olympiad and for this winter camp. It's been great to not only meet the people, but to visit some of the sites, Samarkand, the Center for Islamic Civilization, and learn more about the history and culture of this beautiful country.
How about you? Isn't your first time? This is
No,
approximately
no.
the fifth.
Well, it's number 6. Well, yeah. And I've been part of Mendeleev Chemistry Olympiads here since '08. Also participated in the Al-Biruni Olympiad, and we have had September camp here. So what is very important, I can see the development of the land since 2008, and it is huge. It's amazing.
And yes, now we can move to the basic theme, the International Chemistry Olympiad itself, 2026. And the main question will be in this podcast the purpose of the International Chemistry Olympiad hosting in here, and how is your your thoughts about it?
Well, when Uzbekistan first proposed to host, offered to host, for the international community, it was very exciting. So, since Uzbekistan has first participated in 2013, it's been a real presence at the Olympiad. The students have done very well, and it's been clear that the country appreciates and supports the Olympiad. So we were very excited that they're also supporting the Olympiad community by inviting all of us, by inviting these top young scientists from around the world to come here to the heart of Central Asia and to experience the chemistry of Uzbekistan in person.
And how you think the main purpose of hosting here, the IChO 2026?
I mean, it will be a very, very serious push in a very positive mood of this word. It will be a very important stage for further development of chemistry education in Uzbekistan, because we know it will be very widely forwarded to the media, and everybody in Uzbekistan will know about this international event. And this is very important for some internal domestic development. And also it will contribute a lot to the better understanding of Uzbekistan, prestige of Uzbekistan worldwide.
And of course, we are at the stage of the preparation for IChO 2026, and they're being organized in winter camp. And could you talk more about the preparation levels? Are we are going good, or your feedbacks also about winter camp?
So I mean, this winter camp is my first opportunity to see what's happening. And we know that hosting the Olympiad is a gigantic task. It's a very big commitment, the logistics, the science program. But this week, we've really been able to see all of the very hard work from many people, the commitment from the Science Olympiad Center, the commitment from the government, from the universities. So many people are making contributions to make this a success. And I think we already, as I said, had high expectations because of what we know of Uzbekistan. But this week, it's even higher expectations after seeing how great the preparations are so far.
in your?
Yeah, I will completely agree with JL, and I know how it develops. So I think first very proper decision was made when we decided to have actually two subparts of science committee. Local science committee, mostly uniting the former IChO medal winners, and these very young chemists, and they are really willing to contribute. They're exploring the Olympiad from the other side. They used to solve problems, now they are creating problems. And also, we have a board of international experts. All of us have nice background and experience in organizing and hosting Olympiads in our domestic countries and worldwide. That's why we had to become a single team. And the second decision that was really very fruitful was to host the Al-Biruni Olympiad last year in the format of IChO. This contributed a lot to better understanding by all bodies what IChO is and how we can communicate, how we can work together. And now I'm pretty sure the science committee is just one good team. And then we had a September camp where the ideas for final tasks were selected. And based on these, we started preparation of the preparatory tasks, which we discussed here. And we had a feedback from the steering committee. And we still have 2 weeks to make some final polishing, and then we will publish it on the website.
Yeah, I think a lot of things that Sasha said really showed in the preparations that we saw. The experience, not just from hosting international Olympiads, but international chemistry Olympiads with the Al-Biruni, that experience really shows in the level of preparations that have been done here. And also that the youth of the members of the science committee, there are some very fresh ideas.
And inspiring.
Very inspiring ideas, very big challenging puzzles I think will be awaiting the students here. And it's been great as we work through the preparatory problems and give our feedback to see those new ideas.
Yeah. And now we can move more personal questions. Like, could you talk more about your way to coming to the chemistry world, the IChO itself?
So I grew up in the United States, and I had two very, very excellent chemistry teachers in school. My dad also is a chemical engineer, and so I had inspiration at home and in school who encouraged me to pursue chemistry. And then as a student, I was a participant representing the United States at the IChO.
Really?
Absolutely. Many years ago now. And I have to say now, when I see the students, when I see their level, I don't know how I ever was able to qualify as a participant.
Yeah, at that time.
At that time. But I feel really lucky. The experience for me changed the direction of my life. It's what inspired me to study in another country outside of the United States. And that change in direction is why I've stayed involved in the Olympiad. It's something that I want to be sure other people have that opportunity to experience the Olympiad, to build these connections, these friendships through chemistry with other people.
I trust now you are involved in the UK Olympiad system rather than US.
Yes, so for several years now, I've been involved in the UK system. But as you were saying before about the members of the science committee here, when they saw the other side, I have to say Sasha played a role in that for me. My first time as an observer on the other side was in Moscow in 2007. So our stories go back quite a while, the connections.
Yeah,
And your
we have had
story?
many connections. Well, my story is more or less similar because my dad was a professor of biochemistry. Actually, my mom was university teacher of French, and it's a shame I cannot speak French. Yes, sorry. Well, And when being a school student, I was interested in many different sciences. But a couple of years before graduation from secondary school, I decided to devote me to math. And I was preparing for the Department of Math of Moscow State University. But then we have had long talks, long discussions with my parents, and they convinced me to try chemistry, and I changed my mind just in May of the graduation year. And I
Really?
never regret it. So thus I entered Department of Chemistry, and all my life, entire my life is connected with Department of Chemistry of Moscow State University. As to the IChO, I think it was late October when our former dean of chemistry department, academician Lunin, who made huge contribution to Mendeleev and Olympiad and to the IChO. He invited me. We've been acquainted from students' building teams. He visited me in Kazakhstan, where I was leading one of such building teams. And he said, okay, Sasha, we are going to host International Chemistry Olympiad next year. We need some organizational help. I know that you're fluent in English. You are nice in communication with people, you know, chemistry. Could you please take care as the secretary of the organizing committee? I said, of course, if you ask me, I will definitely do it. And I became so much interested in the community, in the whole event, that I decided to continue. But then gradually I switched to science committee because it's also a very interesting part of the competition. So I was, well, now it's nearly 30 years, or already 30 years I am involved. And I've been a part of organization committee and science committee in 1996, 2007, where we met with Jael as an observer, because before I remember him as a student participating in the IChO. Also, 13 of these were in Moscow, and also we did Olympiad in 2015 in Baku branch and Moscow State University. It was Azerbaijan. Also, I was a part of science committee in Georgia in 2016, and last year in Dubai. This is my record.
Yeah, and as you know, it's an honor and the first time to give Uzbekistan this chance to host the International Chemistry Olympiad for first in Central Asia. And how would you think that, are we ready, or other Uzbekistan can host this kind of Olympiad international level?
You've been very involved. I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to speak
Okay.
first, and then
I'm pretty sure everything will be huge. I have no doubt in it. And probably the idea of inviting IChO was formulated after very successful Mendeleev Chemistry Olympiad in 2022. I could remind you that this was the first on-site Olympiad after pandemics. And it was after a couple of years or 3 years of hard time of online Olympiads. And everybody was very much puzzled how it will flow. But it was amazing, it was huge. And we all came to the conclusion that Uzbekistan is more than ready to host this bigger event, because Mendeleev Olympiad, it's something, well, now it's up to 40 countries, but International Chemistry Olympiad, we expect to have more than 90 countries. So to conclude, I have no doubt that Uzbekistan has everything needed to host it at the best possible level.
And yours?
I think to have a successful Olympiad, the two important things are to have the enthusiasm to pursue it, and also to have the commitment of all of the resources that are necessary to make those ideas a reality. And here, I think both of those things are available in very large amounts. That the young people who are involved, also the senior people from the universities, from the government, who are excited to be welcoming the IChO here, it's really clear. And alongside that, there's the commitment of the resources to really make everything at the very highest level.
And now we can continue with the committee members, especially the science committee members. Who are they and how they involved in your team, like in science, scientific part? Could you talk?
Yes, sure. Uh, as I said before, we decided to have two subparts of the science committee, and local and international. And there is a very nice procedure of the International Chemistry Olympiads that future hosts are allowed to bring more people to observe current Olympiads. So we were in discussion with managing people, how we proceed, what is good, what is can be improved, having glanced at the previous Olympiads, analyzing their experience. And we decided that the ideas of all the tasks will appear from the local members of science committee who are, as I said before, the past IChO medal winners. And then we collect all the ideas, and international jury will decide what are better, what are what can be postponed. So we make a selection, and then we work together to bring to make the tasks mature, to prepare them in the format of the IChO. If we come back to the selection of international members, I would say once again that all these people are experienced. They have participated as important persons in organizing their local IChOs, their domestic countries or internationally. And this was a discussion with local managers whom we invite and whom we don't. It was a mutual agreement because it's also very important that we can mentally meet each other because being very good in chemistry or organizing events, it's one story. Being a part of a whole team working together, it's another story. And this was equivalently followed.
In your thoughts about how the gathering of the steering committee and organizing committee for this edition, IChO 2026?
So, I mean, the steering committee, the people who are involved, it's really set by the regulations of the Olympiad. So there are 6 of us who are elected. There are the representatives of the host, so Turoboy Shamatov from here, representative of the previous host in UAE, the future host from Taiwan. And we're really here to do anything we can to help and support the efforts of the organizing and scientific committee to bring our experiences of the IChO and a fresh set of eyes to these preparatory problems that the science committee has been spending a very long time to prepare. And for us, it was really exciting this week. Sasha mentioned how the problems were developed by the local members of the committee. And I think that's something really special about the IChO that you can also see this year. Because each country has their own scientific committee when they host, you get to experience the flavor of chemistry in the country. And it's really nice to see that. I think with young people being involved, they've also been very ambitious in the challenges they've set for the students to experience this year. And you can really see that enthusiasm for creating some very high-level puzzles for the students to engage with.
And before your trip to Uzbekistan, have you heard about Uzbekistan itself, not only in science part, like in other, like sport or something like that?
Well, I've heard the different ways that Uzbekistan is inviting the world here, not only in science, but also with FIFA coming in a few years. And so it's great to see these different ways that Uzbekistan is inviting the world to come here and see the hard work of Uzbek people, not only in science, as you say, but also in sport and in other fields.
And as I said before, I can see the progress of the country since 2008. And it's amazing. And I know that it is not only about chemistry, it is not only about sciences. We were all very happy that Uzbekistan qualified for the FIFA finals. this year we will be shouting for Uzbek team, and we wish every success at this very important event. And we know that there are chess players do extremely well. So we follow all the achievements of Uzbekistan, and I take it as achievements of my country as well.
Oh, thank
I
you.
equivalently happy.
Very kind of you. And yes, and how you may evaluate the preparation process in the scientific field? Like, can we talk about the difficulties and the levels of the questions for the upcoming participants? Can they know which level they should prepare and like the most concepts of the questions?
Yeah, I mean, it's always very difficult to predict how students will do the final exam. Uh, so, of course, as Jael said, local young members of science committee are very ambitious to prepare really requiring tasks. And the duty of the International Science Committee to bring it to some proper balance, because the Olympiad is not only for the 10% of gold medal winners, it is for everyone who participates, which means there should be a balanced set of easier questions, intermediate questions, and more advanced questions that will decide about gold and silver medals, let us put it in this way. And also it is very important that all fields of chemistry are being represented. And there are two ways how to do it. We have a set of tasks, and let us say one task is in organic chemistry, another is inorganic, then bio, then physical chemistry, or we can have a mixture of various fields in each task. And I think in most tasks we will have a mixture, and this is being reflected in the prep problem set. Yeah, that's our idea, because chemistry, contemporary science is just a nice mixture of different fields, different sciences, and it's nearly impossible to create a pure inorganic or pure organic task. Of course, it can be done, but it will be mostly textbook task, which will be solving it will be quite boring.
And from the seating part, what was the new for this edition, for especially IChO 2026?
I think what Sasha just mentioned is actually something that many of us commented on. Although it's maybe normal to see in the final tasks this combination of the different fields of chemistry, it's really something that we see already in the preparatory tasks this year. The preparatory problems bring together different parts of chemistry: organic, inorganic, physical, and biochemistry. And I think it will be neat for students to already see, as they're preparing over the coming months, how the different fields of chemistry are linked together. It's not separate as we separate them into textbooks. It's really skills that you need to draw together to approach the problems that society faces in the world, that researchers are looking to solve.
I mean, probably we will make such a statement in the preface to preparatory problems. So be prepared to have a combined tasks.
Yeah. And from the organizational parts, what's the new for this edition?
So in terms of the organizational parts, I think one of the things that is new is sorry.
Okay. You may start. Tell truth. Yes, of course.
Be frank.
Yeah, so from the organizational side, I think the challenges are always a little bit different depending on some of the particular aspects of the host country. There are different things that each country will have more experience with that come more naturally. But what's new are the ways that we will get to see the organization here in Uzbekistan, that we will get to experience this combination of rich history and also the very modern aspects of the city here in Tashkent. And I think it will be a great experience for the students and the mentors.
Absolutely. I can see one difficulty the food is so nice here, and we are offered so much that it is really difficult to stand. Yeah. But we need to do something with it to eat.
It's true. I think there will also need to be some training to be prepared for the very generous meals here in Uzbekistan.
Yes, the such kind of plov,
Yes,
mante.
Everything,
you like
everything.
Yes,
everything's very
Samsa,
tasty.
everything.
and yes. And now we can move for the part for participants and the mentors and team leaders who will be with the participants who will be in the process of IChO. And could you give an advice for the participants in scientific part and in steering part, like how they may solve the problems?
Okay. Should I start?
Hey,
Yes.
you may.
Thank you. We will publish the set of preparatory problems in a couple of weeks. And there will be a lot of chemistry to practice. And my first advice would be not to lose time because there are plenty of interesting tasks from my point of view. And another advice would be do not use AI solving. Just take time. These tasks are available for half a year, and students are expected to try to do as much as possible by themselves. I mean, we will publish the problems only. The solutions will be published, will be posted at the website only at the beginning of June. Only mentors will know the solutions, which means students will have several months to try to do their best. So my basic advice is not to spend time for nothing, just to do chemistry, to prepare, and if they cover the prep problems nicely, I'm pretty sure they will be able to get nice scores at the final exams.
Yeah, of course. That was the huge work by the scientific part, and also the participants should consider this hard work and try their best to solve.
I would agree with everything Sasha said. And I think the other thing I would say, one of the great things about the Olympiad is how diverse all of the people are who are involved. And that's not only different countries, different cultures, but also the chemistry we learn in school is so different. So I think as all of the participants are beginning to prepare, different people will find different things the most challenging. And so I think one of my biggest pieces of advice for preparation is to not do it alone. Even though the final competition is individual, in the preparation, you can benefit so much from working together with other students from your school, other students who you meet online, teachers, and those connections that you can build while training will really make each person who is involved a better chemist and a stronger competitor in the end, I think.
Completely agree. We are a team of science committee. There could be teams of students preparing together.
Yeah,
And I mean, I know some students do so.
absolutely. And I think now, especially, there are lots of different ways to connect with each other online. And so making those connections, I think, will be a lot more useful than AI.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, and of course, could you give some methods to kick off the Olympiad itself, like how to reach the international level, how with what they should prepare, like the teaching methods, preparing methods.
Okay, now you start. And I
Some
continue
methods,
to be in
some
the...
hicks
Yeah.
to get.
Yeah, so I think, again, I would emphasize, I think it's about working together. And because I think then one of the best ways to learn is by also helping others to learn, by teaching. And everyone will find things more challenging, but the sorts of students who are competing in the Olympiad will also have strengths that they can share with others. And I think, like Sasha said as well, to be consistent. There's a lot of time between now and the Olympiad in July, but there's no time to lose. And it's worth starting early and working bit by bit to start from a strong foundation and build up to the high level that will be expected this summer. The prep problems make clear that there's a lot of work for the participants to do to be ready. And so they should make the most of the time.
My advice, my basic advice would be to work hard. And to do so, every student needs to find motivation. This is really important because this is huge work. Not everyone can do it. Yeah, and if you decide doing it, you must be motivated, and student must understand that half a year will be devoted to the IChO completely. And another important thing is, in some countries, it's more difficult to become a part of IChO team rather than to perform at the IChO itself. So I wish every student success in the national finals. In many countries, it's also a very tough competition in chemistry.
And I think that's the other thing I would say on that point, how tough it can be in many of the countries, is it's not just about the medal. It's not even just about arriving at the opportunity to come here, but it's about the experience. And so they should work very hard, but also enjoy the experience of learning the chemistry, of working together. The Olympiad community starts from those first beginnings of the preparation. And so they should enjoy every second of it.
Yeah, we had a discussion, I trust, the day before yesterday, that the most important thing about IChO is when students end up the competition, they never say, I hate chemistry now. They say, I love chemistry even more. And I hope this will be true in Uzbekistan, I have no doubt.
And of course, that was my next question. You already
Sorry.
answered it.
Sorry.
Yeah. And overall, what was the vision of IChO itself, and what it gives for participants, for winners or for losers, of course? What was the main concept of IChO to organizing this Olympiad?
I think really the concept is that there are no losers, that the real prizes, as Sasha mentioned, are deepening the love and interest in chemistry through challenging students with creative problem solving, and also the reward of the friendships they make at the IChO, but also in the preparation with people from their own country, from their own schools. It's about seeing that chemistry is something that connects the whole world, whatever country, whatever culture, whatever language. It's something that brings us together.
Connects us.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Jael said, IChO changed my life very seriously. It opened me a very new world, and I visited many countries, but what is more important, I have friends nearly in each of these countries, and I understand mentality and differences between different countries, cultures, chemistry. So it makes us more rich. Yeah, it definitely enriches us.
Of course. Okay. And now let's move to the like your trip, about the trip itself in Uzbekistan. And as you said, you are the first time in Uzbekistan and see the Uzbekistan, the Samarkand. We have not only the Samarkand, we have Bukhara, we have Hiva, which is the like our cities are full of history, full of moments, and ancient part, and as you said, in development also. And could you talk more about your trip in Uzbekistan in like 1 week? It was 1 week. It's too short to see the Uzbekistan fully, but we hope that was the like the basic hospitality for you in a week.
I think the hospitality was just endless. It was really impressive, experiencing the culture, experiencing the delicious food, the plov, the different types of plov from the different regions. And I think one thing that I really noticed is when we talked about the Olympiad coming here to Uzbekistan, but when we visited the historical sites, the center, Samarkand, one thing we kept hearing was about teaching, about the future, about supporting students to pursue knowledge. this is something that goes deeply into the history of Uzbekistan for many centuries, this commitment to young people, to encouraging them to pursue their interests, to pursue knowledge. And for me, that was really neat to see in the ancient buildings in Samarkand, all the way to what the government is supporting now, this commitment to helping each generation to be stronger, better educated, and to have a brighter future. It's been really amazing to experience that. And the combination of the hospitality and that commitment to learning just gives me a very warm feeling being here.
And you want to add something?
Yes, sure. As I said, I've been many times to Uzbekistan before, but I've seen only two locations which are incredible. It's Tashkent and Samarkand. I am really dreaming of visiting other ancient parts and historical and cultural and natural places like Bukhara, Hiva, and Fergana Valley, because I mean, I can see. I need to see differences between various parts of Uzbekistan because they're unique and they're somehow different.
Yes.
And it is also always interesting, challenging to find some minor things that are absolutely important. And I was very lucky this time to spend a couple of days in Amerso in the mountains to do some downhill skiing. It was great, and if I have a chance, I will definitely be back in future. And even saying now, I really hope that we will continue some educational projects in the future when the IChO is finished, but we will still be friends, this is for sure, but hopefully we will do something together as well.
And as you said, you were the Olympiadist from your young age, and became chairman of the International Chemistry Olympiad. And of course, who are seeing us, this podcast will interest your way, how you became from the Olympiads to the chairman of the one Olympiad. And could you share your methods, how became your way, the difficulties in this way also for the participants who wants be inspired from our podcast and wants to become as you?
Well, I have to say that it was never a plan or something that I actively worked towards. But the thing was, as I said, the experience as a student made me feel very passionate about continuing to be involved in the Olympiad in any way that I can. And so very soon after being a participant, I started to work together at that time, helping to prepare the US team.
Really?
For a few years. And then in 2012, the IChO took place in Washington, D.C. And because I had been involved in training the team, I was invited to make contributions to the scientific committee and some of the problems there. But also during the Olympiad, I was quite happy to do whatever needed to be done, whether it was making copies, moving the microphone around. And I think for me, that was really the path. Because I think the Olympiad is such an important thing that I want it to be an experience other people can have, I'm always ready to serve the Olympiad however I can, whether it's science committee, whether it's making photocopies, whether it's helping people at the airport. And over time, the way that the community invited me to serve was to be on the steering committee and then eventually as chair. But I think if somebody's looking for it, the best advice I can give is just to stay involved and contribute however you can. Because I think that's what makes the community so successful, is that these students have a good experience and then want to give back. And with so many people feeling so much passion and love for the community, for chemistry, it's what builds the Olympiad experience, the Olympiad movement. And so for me, it's a great honor and privilege to be the chair, a great responsibility to be the chair. But for me, it also still comes as a surprise that I am. It's I do my best to serve the community.
Even if a small experience, a small contribution is need.
Every contribution is important.
I would say there is one other important issue. We have many people coming to the Olympiad for the first time. I do not mean students, I mean many mentors and observers. They are not very well acquainted with the competition and our habits, and they always seek for someone who could help. It is very important to be open to the people and to search for someone who needs help.
Yeah.
And if you do so, people will definitely vote for you for the steering committee, because they feel that they can rely on such a person. We are always there. Well, we have no breaks during the Olympiad. I mean, Gel, myself, some other people. We are always with the other mentors. We are always in the translation hall, whatever, wherever, and we are always very happy to answer any question.
And I will give you an informal question for you. Would you have any moment, an unexpected moment with the participants or with mentors during the IChO versions? Like, what was the very memorable moment in this Olympiad period?
Well, I think some of the most special moments are always during the celebrations, where quite often there's music where we can dance all together, and the students, the participants and mentors are all able to relax and enjoy themselves after the very hard work of preparing the exams, of sitting the exams. And to me, those are the most memorable moments where you can really just see the joy that everyone feels from being part of the Olympiad.
Well, there are many moments like this, and sometimes, Olympiads are just part of our life. And from time to time, very good friends have to stop their involvement in the International Chemistry Olympiads. Sometimes they are back to the Olympiads, and this is so nice to see them back again. I can recall 2023 in Switzerland when we used to have a very good friend of ours, Maurice from Switzerland, who is bringing Swiss team at the end of the 20th century, at the beginning of this century. So, and then he stopped coming to the Olympiad. And we were so happy to see him back again in 2023 after some 20 years or so. And he was not a very important person in the organizing committee. He was just a man whom any mentor could ask a question. He was there to assist. And it was so lovely. He was so much involved. He enjoyed communicating with old friends, new friends. So this is just a mood of IChO. So, I mean, IChO is mostly about communication with each other.
And this part you liked most, the involvement. Of course, you were waited for some people like the Maurice.
Yeah. I mean, preparing tasks, solving tasks is challenging, interesting, but the most important thing is just communication between people.
And I think that's, what you can see from both of our answers is exactly. Chemistry is what brings us together, but the thing that's really unique about the Olympiad is the human aspect of it.
And as you said, you have been involved in many years in chemistry, and you also. And could you compare these times and nowadays? What was the Olympiad, the concept of Olympiad in these days, in the past, and now, how it changed, and if there will be any comparison, the changing parts?
I think you have a longer history, so maybe I will go first, and then you can give more, more perspective.
More than welcome.
I think first the thing I will say is the thing that's the same. And I think that's, as we said, the human aspect, the connection that people can make when new people come, when you make new friends, when you can help each other. But exactly that is one of the things that's changed. When I first came, there were about 60 countries participating. And now, nearly 20 years later, we're very, very close to 100. And so the meetings are much larger. Sometimes they take a bit longer because there are more opinions, more points of view that we need to share and find the right compromise for. But again, that's one thing that stays the same. We're a community that's about reaching compromise, finding a way to work together, finding solutions. Uh, and I think that's one of the things that's been neat, is to see how that holds true even as we get bigger and bigger and more people get involved.
Yeah, great getting an opportunity.
Exactly. The other thing that certainly has changed is the chemistry that takes part. Is each year the country wants to highlight the research they're doing. And so now a lot of the chemistry that's being highlighted in the prep problems, in final tasks, I don't think we could have imagined it at the beginning. And part of that we want to keep an eye on to make sure the level is still a fair competition for people who are school students. But I think it's also really neat that school students can have that opportunity to see modern research as they do the Olympiad each year.
Well, I would completely agree with Jael that we become bigger and bigger, and this changes mood of Olympiad a little bit. When I started, it was only 42 countries, and I knew every mentor and every observer by name, by face. I knew the story of every person. It was 1996, and 2007 we had 68 countries, and it was not possible to remember everyone, which means we need to bring some logistics procedures to make it smooth and to do everything in time. It's a little bit a pity you cannot know everyone, but still we know the majority of people. We know for some years, so it's still interesting. But now it's a very huge event, and the other difference is now we have to prepare nearly 2.5 more working places, which takes 2.5 more time, and we need more people, more time to prepare, and the preparation became more how would say more requiring. We should keep it in mind.
Yeah. And especially those increases in places for the practical exam. It's a really, really big consideration for the host now, having the space and having the preparation.
Not every country can organize 400 lab places at a time.
And it's been really interesting to see, for example, last year something new was doing the practical in an expo hall. This year it's great to see the investment in the lab spaces at the university to have that space. So there are different solutions so that hopefully still many of the participating countries can follow in Uzbekistan's example to host.
And we have discussed a lot about all things, and I will continue. I will end up our podcast with the last question, like how you imagine the IChO after 10 years. What's the future of IChO, and after 10 years, how it will be changed, and in one sentence or in one word, if you can.
I I think the one word I will have to predict is bigger. Even with how much it's grown already, there are still many more countries, especially in Africa, who we hope to welcome into our community over the coming years. And so I hope 10 years from now that even more of the world's diversity will be represented in the participants who are taking part, because it will be great for them to have that opportunity, but their participation will make a richer experience for everyone who's involved in the Olympiad.
Completely agree. As always, well, despite all the fast development of technologies, I think in 10 years we will have more or less the same competition, or more or less the same format. There will be two exams, practical and theoretical, and most of the features will be retained. I really hope so, and I wish so.
I agree with you completely as well, Sasha. And I think that's the thing. There are these aspects, the core of the Olympiad, that are consistent, that make it what it is. And it's each country, as I think the participants will see this year, Uzbekistan's hosting, that will make this edition something special. And in 10 years, I think that will still be what makes each edition special.
And of course, the covering the participants in all areas to see the individuals who are good at in chemistry year by year. They are becoming and hosting the gold medal, silver, and bronze in every year. And yeah, that would be super. Like having a big community of IChO in the future, and now also you are the, as you said, the 100 countries are the involved, and we hope also, and we wish a good luck for your work, for your huge involvement,
Thank you very much.
and the hard work also from the scientific part and steering part to make this Olympiad special and needful for even participants, even mentors, and even who are the inside of every small process. And I think, and you think also, after 10 years, the IChO would become more bigger, better, and would be, how to say,
Very prestigious.
very
It's
prestigious
yeah.
Olympiad in the future.
well respected in the world.
Respected also.
Well, on behalf of the community, I want to say thank you to you, to all of the organizers, the scientific committee, but the organizers, because the thing that helps it to be bigger and better and more prestigious is the hard work of the host each year. And in Uzbekistan, it's clear that that hard work is happening, and your contribution is part of what will make this year, but also the edition in 10 years even more successful.
And of course, we're ready to help to develop the IChO in the future also. And we're open to work with you to make a small contribution, to make a small progress in the field of chemistry.
Thank you very much.
And thank you all for joining us, for joining this edition and making this special edition for our podcast, EduX Podcast. And I wish you the health, good health, and wealth also, and the readiness for the big parts of IChO. And also, you can add some comments.
Yes. So good luck to the participants, good luck to the organizers, and good luck to EduX. Thank you so much for having us to talk about the Olympiad.
I mean, we will have a lot of things to do before the IChO. Please always be positive.
Thank you.
Thank you.